Welcome to this week's episode of the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and me, Steve King. On this episode, we will be talking about the UFC Vegas 15 recap, a couple fights to talk about, some news, a little bit of news, not too much, not too heavy on the news. A couple events to talk about. One, the Big Bang and UFC Vegas 16 with just one fight. So let's get it kicked off with the recap for UFC Vegas 15. Okay. As you can see there, Rachel Ostovich got pretty much beat up. It was a good fight though. She gave a good fight to Gina Mazzani, right? All the way up until that liver kick.
Yeah, I mean, she was a step behind Gina pretty much the whole fight.
Right.
She landed some good shots, definitely, had some very brief moments. And I mean, her biggest piece of success in that fight, I think, was escaping what was it?
She
The
rolled.
north-south, and then she took her back from it or something
Yeah,
crazy. No, yeah, it was the north-south position, and she
yeah,
moved herself
that was pretty impressive.
completely onto her back. That was, yeah, very good, but couldn't capitalize on it. And
Right.
then got finished in the third round again. Crazy stat. I don't know if you saw, but shout out to Rob Tatum who pointed it out. But I don't think it might be all of Rachel's losses. No, not all of them, but all of them but one have come at the last minute of the third round. Like something weird like that. Just like,
Sucks for her. That's
yeah.
it's kind of heartbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's fighting. That's fighting. But you know, Gizmo appearance. He's upset about the loss, I see. Gina though, I mean, yeah, she looked solid for flyweight. It's she looked good, but the thing is, like, how much can you take away from this, considering who it was against, right? Like, not to totally knock on Rachel, but we know that she's not the best opponent that Gina could have won against here, or that she has gone against. I mean, as we talked about it last week, this fight really probably should have happened in the UFC. Um,
Yeah,
so I
I
mean,
agree.
it'll be surprising, very, very surprising if Rachel gets another shot after this performance where she was losing the whole fight and then gets finished, uh, you know, in a highlight reel fashion there with, you see the picture, just pinpoint, pinpoint teep there from Gina Mazzani, two of them actually. So I don't know if that's the first one in the picture there. I would imagine so, but yeah, very, very good performance overall from her. But it's like, how much can you take away from it? I think the biggest thing to take away is the fact that she, made 125 and didn't seem to have any physical issues about it. About making the weight.
No, she looked fine.
Yeah. So the division swapping worked out for her. And welcome, Stamina. Good to see you, buddy, as always. So yeah, I mean, not much to add to that one. We'll see what happens for each of them next. And
Well, I
don't
mean,
really,
you would have to assume that Ostovich gets cut, right? I mean, she's like 4-6 or something like that now.
yeah.
You can't have that kind of you can't have that kind of record in the UFC.
Well,
There,
I mean, and we're just seeing that she's
if
not, you know,
if they keep her, it has only to do with what she what she looks like
but even then, it's like
and the fans that she brings in and stuff.
I think at this point, everyone's like, okay, we know that she's not very good though. It's like one of those things, like, just to be straight up about it. We've seen this. She's been finished what all of her UFC fights, like all of her UFC losses, like I was saying, and I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. It just needs to go back to the drawing board or something. She might even. It sounded like she might retire if she lost this too,
conflicts.
because
Yeah,
she expects to, you know, be cut it from the loss. But we
only,
will.
only fans. Here she comes.
Oh boy, She could have been doing that already.
She probably should have been doing that already. She she put out a calendar. She has a makeup line going
This is
on.
true.
I mean, she's got other shit going on.
Yeah, she's doing fine.
You know, she's a mom. There's other things going on in her life, I think. Maybe MMA just isn't it. I mean, I don't know. Who are we to tell a fighter to hang it up?
Yeah.
But she has other things that she can do
Yeah, no, definitely. And I
if
mean,
she chooses to call it
yeah.
a career.
No, and I mean, I've always been a little bit of a defender of Rachel's abilities, and I kind of defended her last week when we were breaking down the fight.
Right.
That it's just, I don't know, she just really needs to do something different. Like maybe go to a different camp, really just take a break for a little bit and
I don't
reset
see
things.
her going to a different camp just because she's kind of stuck in
Yeah.
the Hawaii, the islands. Um, but I've always thought that she should go train with Alimale.
Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Plenty of
And,
great people there.
yeah, everybody else at 10th Planet in San Diego. Literally one of the best jujitsu gyms in the United States. I mean, if not the world.
Yeah.
So,
No kidding.
and she has the Hawaii thing with Alimale. I think it would benefit for her, but again, I don't know if her heart is completely into MMA anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've seen flashes of what she's capable of, like those talents or those sneaky little skills like that back take that she had. I mean, and just past performances like the Paige Van Zandt fight until she got caught. So yeah, I just think a fresh start overall. So that means leaving the UFC would probably be good for her if she wants to continue. And
Yeah.
like we were saying, she doesn't need to, financially. I would assume. Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
I mean, and she would always have a home in Invicta,
Yeah.
or Bellator would take her, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You don't see her going the Paige Van Zant route though, with
No.
bare knuckle boxing. She doesn't have the hand skills for that.
Yeah, I mean neither does Paige, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a weird one. All right, so Stamina said, I'd actually want someone to show me what kind of numbers Rachel or someone like her, who's viewed as pretty, like, Tracy Cortez, Paige Van Zant, but not talented per se. Well, okay, so not Tracy Cortez because she's talented. What they actually bring to the UFC, aggressively curious I am. Yeah, I guess we can see who does the numbers. The Nielsen ratings. I guess you can break down like not per fight, but average the time of when it happened, and to see how many viewers were watching at that time and the demographic at that time as well. That's I can do that. I can try to figure that out, and maybe have an answer next week. I'll try to figure that out. Yeah, for sure. I got you, Stamina. I'll try to figure that out. I haven't
There
done
we
that
go.
in such a long time. I used to do the. I used to try to pay attention to ratings and stuff like that. I don't care anymore as much. Well, since they've gone to ESPN, actually, because it's a lot fucking harder, to be honest,
Yeah.
especially with ESPN Plus cards. It's virtually impossible if it's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Yep, I don't follow too much of that stuff, but I'll take your word for it there. I mean,
I
just
used to. I mean, I used to. I just haven't in shit 2 years maybe.
since pre-UFC, pre-ESPN, I mean.
Pre ESPN,
Yeah.
yeah, pre ESPN. ESPN fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah, I mean we don't get the pay-per-view numbers anymore. I mean,
Right.
we do, but not in the same fashion, kind of, it
Yeah, it's
seems
not the
like.
same. It just isn't the same. Speaking of pay-per-view numbers, so I have this Mike Tyson hoodie on purpose. Did you see that the Mike Tyson card did over 1 million buys worldwide? That's fucking massive, dude. I know a lot of people are saying it's the Jake Paul effect, and I don't believe that. But
Really? People are saying that? That's fucking
absolutely,
hilarious.
he's a YouTuber, and he has like, dude, he has a shit ton of followers on YouTube and whatever other social media he has, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah, but how much did like his last ones do?
Right, they did about, and it wasn't just him. His last one had his brother
Yeah,
Logan
true.
Paul and KSI. So this is about Mike Tyson, dude. This is about Mike Tyson. This is nostalgia for people, like my mom's age or whatever, and then people who have never seen a live Mike Tyson fight, but
Hmm.
know that he's, how badass he was at one point in his career and his life. It was amazing. I watched that whole card. It was fucking I was amazed by like the showmanship that they had, the acts that they had. Snoop Dogg was awesome. I fucking love that guy. Stamina, you're an MC. Tell me what you thought if you watched. Tell us what you thought about all of the
Performances.
the performances with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg and whatnot. I don't know if you watched it or not, but I thought it was great. I, I was I was pumped for that fucking card. I was excited. The build up got me excited. The fights got me excited. Seeing Mike Tyson back got me hype.
Well, that's great. That's great, Steve. I'm happy for you, but I did not watch it because I don't care.
Well, you don't like boxing at
I
all,
know.
anyway. I mean, you're not a fan of boxing,
I was curious though. I mean, just to hear about how Tyson was doing and everything. Like,
right?
I didn't care too much to watch it just because he's old now and everything. But I was curious to see
Dude,
or
he
to
looked
hear.
so good though. Like his like body wise, like his body.
He looked better than Roy Jones physically.
Fat, dude. Roy Jones got.
Little
I've
chubby.
literally never seen Roy Jones fat like that before. He used to be. I mean, he was literally pound for pound best
Hmm.
in the world, boxer in the world. And I was bummed to see Roy Jones big like that. I was bummed.
How much did he weigh in at?
I don't know.
Fat. He weighed in at fat.
Yeah.
But I do kind of have. Now here, let's see what Stamina said before I go on that.
Come on, Stamina. He said, "Nah, bro, I didn't watch. I value the memory of Tyson too highly. As to watch anything he could do now, the entertainment ceiling ain't high enough, and all that." I agree. I mean, I just, man, dude, I'm just a fan of boxing in general, and I mean, Mike Tyson. I'm way too young to even remember a Mike Tyson fight. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was good to see him, and I think we're gonna see him again. To be honest, Evander Holyfield's pushing for.
Yeah, I mean, geez, sounds like this thing really changed things up a little bit for for everybody. And I could kind of rant about a couple things about actually the Ostovich fight and this Tyson stuff, but I don't know if I want to do it anymore. maybe maybe we'll circle back to that. But we did have another fight that went down, so let's go with that.
So Norma Dumont beat Ashley Evans Smith 30-26 all. Man, Ashley Evans Smith did not look good
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. Like that was maybe she should go to Invicta.
I mean, yeah, it's I mean, rusty maybe. I mean, even then it was
I
like,
don't think so. I don't think it was rust, man. I just think that it was a terrible performance.
Well, let's not take away from Norma though, because Norma
Oh
looked
yeah, she looked great.
fantastic.
Yeah, she looked so good.
She looked like, you know, as somebody who can definitely climb the ladder a little bit. But we do have to note she did miss weight, so that is disappointing. Um,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
and
It's weird.
yeah,
It seems like that she's like in between 135 and 145,
yeah.
like her weight.
But either way, looked very, very good back at bantamweight. I know they were saying her bantamweight debut. I'm sure that they meant UFC because she has fought at
Yeah,
bantamweight
she's fought it.
before. But yeah, looked very good everywhere. I actually thought that she had two 10-8s in this fight. Round
Mhm.
1 and 3, I believe. And I was hearing people say even round 2, like multiple was not a crazy thing to assume here. Ashley just did not really have anything for her. I mean, there was the end of one of these rounds. I don't remember which one it was where she was like had a brief spurt of energy and was really attacking, but didn't land anything really. But yeah, Norma just looked really awesome everywhere. And I mean, I would love to see her against somebody like Stolyarenko next. I think that fight would be fucking awesome, dude. After like seeing this performance, that's a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think Norma Dumont would be good. Would be down for that fight, and I think she would do well,
Yeah, I mean, she makes for a fun addition to bantamweight, and we kind of need all the new blood that we can get in this division. So
especially after losing Tracy Cortez.
after losing Tracy, after Jesse Jess going out for the year, I mean,
Yeah,
when things look so promising for a brief minute, and then they kind of evaporate before our eyes. So
yeah.
good to see her get a win there, and it makes Megan's win all the more impressive. I'll throw that out there too.
Yeah. Man,
even though the size difference
Megan
is
got
there.
some hate on Twitter this past week, didn't she?
Yeah, fucking clowns.
It's crazy, dude. It's wild. Twitter's fucking wild right now. Like, there's some bored motherfuckers right now. Did you see the Rose Namajunas thing today?
Yes, I saw. I skimmed over the interview for to see your quotes, but I didn't get to read the full thing yet. And
Mhm.
I'm happy to see it. I thought it was very interesting what I've read so far, but I'll check it out again.
Yeah, she kind of went back. Just to summarize a little bit, she
Mhm.
kind of she was shook by the Conor McGregor dolly throw thing, but she did say once she figured out that it was Conor McGregor who did it, it kind of eased her. But but at the time, like it took her back to her childhood. She lived kind of a hood lifestyle, growing up, not rich whatsoever. Um, kind of Milwaukee, right? I think it was Milwaukee, wasn't it?
I think so. Not
Yeah,
not not Wisconsin though, right? There's I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it
I
was.
thought it was Colorado or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, who
I don't know,
knows?
something like that. But anyway, so she was on a bus, and people would like throw things at the bus and stuff, and it kind of rattled her when she was a child.
Oh, it was Milwaukee. All right, good call.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah.
So she got kind of rattled or whatever, and then she got rattled again with the bus, like it. But people just fucking they just pile on to fighters. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Well, the funny thing about like the comments that Rose made in that interview and everything, it's so reasonable and understandable. Like all these fucking assholes who are, calling her a pussy and whatever they're saying, these silly things that they're saying. You go and read it and she says that like, okay, put yourself in her position first of all, and then go read what she says. Like said at the time, like you had her and
She had
probably
no
everybody
idea.
else no idea that it was Connor. Like what was happening? Like it
She
could have
had no
been.
idea what was going on.
And you got to think too, in those moments, your mind goes to the worst possibility, right? So she was probably thinking like, oh God, we're getting attacked by who knows what, like, terrorists, what's happening, your mind just goes to the worst places. So it's pretty reasonable fear to have when, something's getting thrown through your window, like riots are happening outside or whatever. The possibilities are endless. But then once you find out, oh, okay, it's Connor's freaking out. All right, that Makes me feel a little bit better, but man, and plus, her background and, everything like you were saying, just combining all of that and the unknowns of it. Yeah, it's understandable. If you don't agree with that, then you're just kind of an insensitive prick. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. Just people. I don't know. I don't know if these dudes on Twitter just have lived a sheltered life where they've never had conflict and they've never been through things in life like life things, fucking
Like life, yeah.
like like real life situations. I mean, I don't know. It couldn't be me talking shit to to fighters about what, like, calling them pussies and like saying that they're whatever. I mean, first of all, you know that they're not pussies. They fucking fight for a living. Like, come on, that they literally fight for a living.
Yeah.
MMA bros are forever tripping over their own fingers to talk shit about Rose. It's weird as hell to me. All kinds of nitpicking and other fuckery. Yeah, I mean, we see it with the men a lot, but way worse with the women, I
Oh
feel.
yeah. Yeah, it's a very unfortunate, consistent reality, for them and having to put up with this silly nonsense that, yeah, it's just is what it is, unfortunately. So,
It's
yeah,
pretty much a bummer. It's a bummer that when when these ladies they talk with their heart and fucking they get shit on for it.
yep. But I mean, props to them for still saying things at all. Like if Rose could be completely silent, then I wouldn't blame her whatsoever. Just like you know,
Which she has
let her
been
business.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
I
I
mean, for the
mean,
most part, she is generally, yeah.
yeah, she doesn't really talk
Because
about
things like this happen when she does talk.
right, and she doesn't want to be taken back to that crap. I mean, I don't blame her at all for not talking. I don't blame any fighter for not talking. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, why do you think we hear so little from Nico? Who I saw you pointed out. What was it? The anniversary of the victory?
3 years, 3 year
Yeah.
anniversary.
Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
man, yeah, thank you for bringing that up because I had actually forgotten about that. Yeah, 3 years ago, a couple days ago, she won the inaugural flyweight title, and she get another woman who gets shit on uh, for never defending her or whatever. It doesn't even matter. She's native. Um, she's native, and she made me proud that night, and I'm still fucking proud of her to this day. To this day, for being the first ever native UFC champion, and she will always go down as the first ever native champion.
Facts. Facts.
I'm very proud of Nico Montano for that. Incredibly
And
proud. We're
in
not
one
the
of
same. We're not from the same. She's Navajo. I'm not. But it doesn't matter. We are all one.
yeah, and I mean one of the most underrated fights of all time. I'll tell you guys that if you don't remember that Roxy fight,
God, it was so good,
go
man.
check it out.
They
Give it
were
a
so
revisit.
bloody and beat up. It was amazing. What a good fight that was. What a
Yeah.
fucking great fight. Do you remember how pumped up I was when Nico won?
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. It was an
Fuck,
awesome one.
fuck,
Great
dude.
moment.
I mean,
Like,
I would have been pumped
oh
for
yeah,
Montari, but I mean, there's
yeah, that was one where you're like, oh man, one of them has to lose.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But at
For
least
me,
they did get fight of the night. So,
yeah. I mean, how could they not? That shit
yeah.
was fucking fire, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
The women for sure get it more than the men, but Rose gets it more than most, in my opinion. For how little she says, how little attention she seeks, etc. It's like her non-conformism raises the ire more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird, man. Like, it's weird.
It's like, yeah, what do you want from her?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what these jackasses fucking really want from these fighters, especially the women. Like, some weird shit.
Yep, but all right, we will move on to the news now, and some exciting news for Steve, of course, his favorite person to talk about.
Yeah, so hopefully the cockroach leaves at this point after this. Oh god, you even put her on the screen.
Had to.
Uh, Betch is gonna fight Yang Wu January 16th. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is it. She gets retired and she takes a beating and fucking doesn't come back.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why the fight was moved because it was supposed to be this week, I think. This week or
Yeah,
next week.
yeah, I don't know why it was moved. Maybe
But I'm going to
maybe
assume travel things
travel. Right.
because
She's in
it's,
Brazil,
yeah,
and Brazil's still fucked. I
and
think.
then Wu's in China.
Right.
So and then it sounds like first so many events of 2021 will be in Fight Island, on Fight Island. So
Yeah.
that only makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to assume that they had some issues because it sounds like also restrictions might be getting a little bit tighter here in America again. And there's possibility that Vegas will shut down again, right? Or Nevada overall is going to stop sporting
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, numbers just keep fucking going up, man. And Nevada is Nevada is one of them. One of the states that numbers are not getting any better. It's much like here in California where shit's shit's fucked. So I'm assuming that the UFC is gonna make plans for Abu Dhabi for quite a while. Just because the unknown with America at this point.
Yeah, and
They've gotten
funny,
they've gotten this far with Vegas. They've gotten this far. They're fucking lucky that they've gotten all these fight cards in.
well, yeah, that's what I was going to say because like it seems like there have been I I don't have the stats for this, but I'm pretty sure that there have been way more cancellations for Apex fights than Fight Island fights because of Corona, right? It seems like it. It
Oh
very
yeah,
much
for
seems
sure.
like
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, literally just lost Leon Edwards to COVID. I mean, that poor bastard. Jesus. I mean, he
He's been
can't catch
affected the worst from it.
he can't catch a break. He just can't catch a break.
I mean,
I mean,
technically he did, but
I don't I don't think that I don't think that he was going to beat Chimaev. I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't think that he was going to win that fight. So maybe he did catch a break.
Well, hopefully we get. You know what? I would assume that Chimaev would still want to fight somebody, but I would
Well,
still like to see the Edwards fight too. Which it
he's
sounds like they
supposedly
want to do that
yeah,
still.
he's supposedly not taking Neil Magny fight or whatever. Like he's ducking Neil Magny.
I don't know. I don't know. Why not, dude? I mean, like everybody's above you. You know, I think he should totally. Why not take that? And Neil's down. He's one of the few people who is down to actually fight him. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks. But yep, that's Bechko news. Not too much to talk about until it's time to break that one down. And
Don't really
so,
think about her anyway.
yeah, and Steve doesn't want to talk about her, and it is what it is. But this is easily the most interesting and biggest surprise of the news cycle.
Yeah, so Clarissa Shields signed with PFL. She'll supposedly be making her debut in 2021. Man, that's a big get for them. Do is she going to be a star from the jump? No, she doesn't have a background in MMA, but she will have the best hands in the fight. Whoever she fights, she will have the best hands. because her boxing is phenomenal.
This is so interesting to me because, like, on one hand, this is definitely the smartest business move that she can make because surely PFL is giving her, a better payout than what she's making in boxing. That seems like a no-brainer
Yeah,
because
women's boxing pays shit anyway.
is problematic. Yep. But then, so fantastic business move for Clarissa Shields. Can't really deny that. And then on the other hand, from an athletic standpoint, I think this is an absolutely awful move. This is just not going to go well. We've seen this movie before, man. Boxers going over, it doesn't work. Doesn't work out well. No matter, because they want to put her against Kayla. Of course they do. That's the big fight. And so it then comes down to, do they risk building up to that for Clarissa, give her some fights beforehand, risk losing that because literally anybody else could beat her if they go straight with that grappling heavy game plan, which they surely will. Clarissa needs to take like a 2-year break and just work on the other MMA elements specifically for her to have reasonable chances against a lot of people, and especially Kayla Harrison. It doesn't fucking matter. No matter how long she trains, she is going to lose to Kayla unless Kayla decides, oh, I don't want to do any grappling whatsoever. I'll box with her. Otherwise, she stands zero chance against her. So from the athletic standpoint, this is just a really silly thing to me. If she fights next year, which it sounds like she will. Business wise, though, yeah, genius, make that money. But it's not. I don't see the results in the cage going well for her at all.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, I was fucking pretty shocked by this announcement. I was like, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, PFL, after this shitty year you've had.
Right. It's just weird. Like they're not even putting on fights. They haven't put on fights this whole entire year, and here they are signing one of the biggest signings that you can possibly have. Um, she's a huge name in boxing. She's a gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist. She's an amazing boxer. She's pretty much unbeatable. But again, if they're building up to Kayla Harrison and they're friends, so it's who knows if they're even going to fight ever. If they're building up to Kayla Harrison, by the time that Clarissa Shields is ready for Kayla Harrison, Kayla Harrison might not even be in PFL. She might be in, who knows where? I mean, Bellator, UFC, who knows? Who knows where Kayla Harrison will be by the time Clarissa Shields is at the level to be able to fight Kayla Harrison.
And even then, it won't be enough, right?
Well, like you said, if Kayla Harrison decides, oh, I'm going to strike with this girl, which she won't. I mean, nobody's going to strike with Clarissa Shields in MMA. There's no way. If you have any kind of takedowns, you're going to try to take down Clarissa Shields because that's the only way that you're going to win.
No. Yeah, I mean, and everything you just said right there is why I think that they will make that Kayla fight as soon as they possibly can because they're going to miss the boat. They'll miss the boat for sure. I
don't even know if they would fight each other. They're friends.
Are they pretty close? Like I didn't realize.
I think they're pretty close to each other. Yeah.
Well, did you see Kayla's interestingly timed tweet though when when this was announced?
Yeah, I saw it. I love Kayla Harrison, to be honest. She hella dissed Tim Elliott. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah, she called him a little guy, or little bro, or little dude, or whatever she said to him. Fucking hilarious.
Tim Elliott's funny though too. He was having fun with it.
Yeah.
After the fact.
After that. I mean, Kayla 10-8 him though. You know. Yeah, Clarissa should be doing AMI regional shizzle for like half a decade at least. She'd better get used to taking losses quick because they're coming. Oh boy, they're coming. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on who she's fighting. Again, whoever she's fighting needs to go for the takedown because you cannot strike with this girl. You cannot. I mean, she's going to be one of the better strikers in all of MMA from the jump, male or female. It doesn't gender doesn't matter. She'll be one of the better strikers in MMA, but again, she's not a full MMA fighter. She's a boxer. We've literally never seen her fight in an MMA fight, and she gets signed to PFL. It's weird. It's weird.
Like, dude, I mean, let's just think about PFL's roster for a second. Like some of the people that we saw fight in the tournament last year at lightweight, right? So,
Yeah.
well, you put her against Larissa Pacheco. Pacheco beats her easily. She'll take her down
Yeah.
right
The
away.
takedowns, right?
What was it? What was it? What was her name? There was like another.
Canadian girl.
Yeah, there was there pretty much all of them though. I mean, none of them were super striking heavy from what I remember. Like there was a lot of decent grapplers in there.
Sarah Kaufman.
Kaufman. I mean, even Kaufman beats even this, with a size advantage in
Well,
Clarissa's favor.
Kaufman would definitely wrestle her.
Yeah.
Like she would not want to strike with Clarissa Shields. She's smart enough to go for that takedown. There's no way. There's no way that she would try to strike.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, she would. Sarah would make it a point to be like, "All right, I'm gonna show you that these are different sports." Like she's one of those.
Oh yeah, she's definitely one.
Like even though Sarah is a fantastic MMA striker, yeah, she was not stupid.
Yeah, a little bit different though, because I mean, again, Clarissa Shields is a very, very phenomenal boxer.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. that's for damn sure. I just
Yeah, I think it's just kind of weird, like to see where they're going with it. I don't know where they're going with it. We don't know what they're gonna do. Who they're gonna match her up with. We don't know.
I just don't see how they don't go for that Kayla one, even if they are friends. Like, surely they want to do that. I mean, you got to think too. PFL coming back after no fights for what will be over a year. They want to start off huge. I'm sure they'll put Rory on whatever card. They should anyway. He hasn't fought in forever too, and then just stack it up big.
There's no way that they're going Kayla versus Clarissa from the jump. Her very first MMA fight. There's no way.
We'll see.
There's no fucking way that they do that.
We'll see. I just think it's such a risk for them business wise to not do that. So I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Ideally, Clarissa, yeah, like Stamina said, she should be training MMA elements for the next 10 years. Let's go 5. He said half a decade. So yeah.
On another note, I'd be interested to see if the smaller gloves equate to more knockouts for Shields, though. Not too many on her record thus far. Yeah, she's more of a points fighter. She doesn't have the knockout, but yeah, those gloves could change things once she gets those paws going.
Very true.
I don't know. It's just a lot of question marks. I'm full of question marks up here.
What is it, Nick Young? Is that the guy? The meme, the GIF.
Yeah. I just don't. We just don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yep. But what we do know is that Ryzen's New Year's Eve show this year is looking damn good so far.
Yeah. So Kana Asakura and is it I?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna fight at 108. On, like Drake said, the New Year's Eve card, which is always amazing.
Yep. And this one is looking good again so far. We just got 7 additional announcements to go with Horiguchi and Kaya Sakura too, which I cannot wait for that one. So we're up to 8 right now, looking to have about.
Sakura. My
Woo, woo, hose me off.
God,
But
it's a great fight, man.
this
It'll be,
one though,
it'll be good to see Horiguchi back.
yeah, definitely very excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kana versus I here. I think this is a very good one, and I mean, clearly the number one contender fight winner of this should definitely get the title shot against ladies who we will be speaking about next. But yeah, very excited to see Kana back. You know, she returned for the return show this year for Ryzen. Took on Mizuki Furuse and just absolutely bullied her in about a minute. Was it a minute? Minute 35 here. And then before that, I had that gnarly Kimura on Jamie Hinshaw in her Bellator debut for the crossover shows. That was nasty. And then before that, she beat the current Invicta champion, Alicia Zapatillo. So she's on a very good 3-fight winning streak here. And yeah, you know, taking on Shimizu, who 5-0. Fun matchup. I think that you got to favor Kana, though, because Kana's pretty much a little prodigy at atom weight. It's incredible. You know, 21 fights so far for being only 23, and 17-4 is her record. And beating so many good people. She's elite of the elite at atom weight. And if Shimizu can, you know, knock her off and get the upset here, just launches her right up there. And, you know, man, I don't see how she wouldn't get a title shot. And then for Kana, it's like, yeah, she would extend her winning streak with a win, you know, over a prospect who is undefeated. So it's a very interesting matchup. But, you know, yeah, early on, it's hard not to go with Kana, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, do we really see Kana losing? I mean, of course, it's MMA and shit happens all the time, but Asakura is one of the best female fighters in the world. So I don't see her losing at all. I mean, it can happen, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah. And I mean, for I too, you look at who she last beat too, was also on that Bellator card, 237 at the end of the year. Took out Andy Wynn, who's a very good, you know, notable veteran too. So that was kind of a good test to see if she's ready for more experienced opponents.
That's true.
And, you know, split decision. So Andy put up a good fight and everything, but, you know, I ended up getting it in the end. And yeah, just putting things together. So excited for that one. And, you know, when it comes to Kana, man, I mean, she has only lost to Miyu Yamamoto and Ayaka Hamasaki in her last so many fights. It's been a lot. I can't even count these all right here, but it's been a lot. And I mean, those two ladies are fighting for the title now. Perfect segue.
Yeah, so Mayu Yamamoto and Ayaka Hamasaki are going to fight on the same card, Ryzen 26. Again, New Year's Eve card, New Year's Day card in Japan.
Yep, vacant title fight.
Yeah, title fight.
I mean, what do you think about this one? Because it seemed like, you know, of course, the options sounded like Ayaka was always going to get the title shot, which totally fair. You know, we were hoping it would be that 4th fight against Sohee Ham, but of course, Ham has left now. And then, you know, Kana also had the winning streak going, like I was just saying. You could have argued, you know, let's make the rematch with Hamasaki, because that was the very first Ryzen title fight. Ayaka just kind of totally put it on her there and showed her the experience difference. And then, you know, Reina is in the mix there, but, you know, Reina and Hamasaki are very close to one another, and Reina might not even drop back down now that Ham is gone. So here's the freshest matchup. Miyu, the ageless wonder, the baddest ass grandma in the game of all time, arguably.
Pretty crazy that she's a grandma, though.
46 years old. You wouldn't know it.
I know. Honestly, if you've been paying attention to her career and stuff, she doesn't look 46.
No, dude, she's gotten better over time. Like,
right.
I mean, of course, she came into MMA pretty much just as a wrestler, right? I mean, that was her background. She's was
Yeah.
training for the Olympics and everything. Just a
Yeah.
wrestler her whole life, and a damn good one still. But yeah, really adapted to the game since her like fourth fight or whatever. I mean, she went like 1-4 in her 1-3 in her first four or whatever. But since then has rattled off. She's 5 in her last 6 with that one loss coming to Ham, which no shame in that, of course. So yeah, has really come into her own. I mean, she dominated Kana when they fought. As I said, that was the loss there. And so Miyu established herself firmly, has established herself firmly as a top 5 atomweight in the world, despite being nearly 50. So it's really incredible, just the career that she's had so far, despite only having 10 fights. And I mean, man, what a goddamn story it would be if she beats Ayaka, right? I mean, Ayaka, the GOAT of atomweight, looking to get back her belts. After dropping it in a very, very close, awesome fight in that trilogy with Ham last year. Excuse me, last year on New Year's Eve. And man, this is about as good of a story as you could see if she was to pull this off. And I mean, for Hamasaki too, just to continue to show like how amazing that she is, because one of the most underrated fighters ever. So I love this. I love this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be fun. And Resin always does great things anyway. Their fighters come to fight. They don't fuck around. There's no fucking filling out processes typically in Ryzen fights. They just go from the jump, which is just another reason to love Ryzen. To be honest, there's many reasons to love Ryzen. That's just one of them. As you said, Hamasaki is one of the best, if not the best, atomweight ever. And she should probably win this fight.
Yeah. I love both of them, honestly. I've talked to both of them before and everything, and, just great people and great fighters, obviously. But Hamasaki, she's just incredible. And I really think she's only looking better as she gets older, putting just her game, rounding things out a whole lot, especially with her striking, has looked awesome in these last couple fights.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so is Miyu's is really coming along too, but of course her strength is still her wrestling, which, kind of puts her in a bind because of Ayaka's very strong ground game and submission ability too. But that's what makes it so interesting, just anticipating how this will play out. So it's another one where it sucks that somebody has to lose, but
well, man, you would think that Yamamoto's going to go for the takedowns, use her wrestling background against Hamasaki. And Hamasaki will obviously have the better striking in this fight, but Yamamoto would probably be better on the ground than Hamasaki.
Yeah, if she can be on top, I think that's her safest.
Right, if spot. She can get her down, that's the problem. If we don't see Hamasaki get taken down very often.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at it, she has 3 losses. She's 20-3 in her career. Okay, of course, the last one to Ham, and it was a split decision, very close fight. If you were to score that fight, it was so good, so goddamn good. If you were to score that fight round by round, Hamasaki edges out the first and the third round. Second round, she was in a triangle for about 4 minutes, literally 4 minutes of that round.
Looked like this. She was dead in the water.
Yeah, but survived for that whole time, which is incredible. Was eating elbows and just anything. Like, it's surprising that it wasn't stopped by the referee because she couldn't get out of there. But then the fact that she didn't even go out unconscious. So really incredible, but got stuck in a position while she was on top, though. So, like, I don't think that Miyu will threaten with triangles necessarily. Maybe some arm bars and whatnot. I'm sure she's training on everything. But, yeah, and then you look at Ayaka's other 2 losses, right, which were both to strawweights. When she was at strawweight, Ayaka has only lost that one fight to Ham below 115 pounds. She's undefeated at atomweight except for that one, right? And you could argue that she even won that one. But those other 2 losses were against Livia Souza and Claudia Gadelha, who outsized her significantly, right? Yeah. And, so then those are really the only people who have had decent, especially Claudia, success in taking her down and everything. And I mean, Olivia didn't need to in that one, but Claudia, of course, that was back when she was really relying on her grappling and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's when Claudia was just a grappling heavy fighter, and I mean, she should be now. And
should be.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it when we talk about her on the show. But yeah, I mean, Hamasaki, she's not going to be an easy person to take down for Yamamoto, even though Yamamoto is the better wrestler.
I mean, if anybody's gonna do it, Miyu has definitely got the
True. Yeah,
the
if
resume
anyone
to do
can
it.
do it. Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting, and I mean, what a feel good moment it would be for just everything that the Yamamoto family's been through in the last couple of years.
Do you think that she would call it quits if she won and just be like, I'm
Mm,
done?
I mean, that's a good question. Maybe. Why not? Why not?
Go out on
It's,
top and say, fuck it. I'm
yeah.
I'm old now. I'm
Yeah. I don't know if you'll ever admit that.
This is a wrap. This is a wrap on my career. I'm gonna go be a grandma
Yeah, I'll go
with
accept
my
grandma
belt
duties.
around my waist.
Oh man. Well, speaking of old people and speaking of older people, and just to finish off Ryzen talk here, I gotta know, man, what did you think about seeing that Minoa man's back?
Yeah, I mean it's weird that they would bring him back,
It's
right?
pretty goddamn insane.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
been 3 years since he last fought.
crazy. Has it been 3 years?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. He was
yeah.
on the he was on the 2017 going right.
No, I don't think he. This is his Ryzen debut. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, but yeah, he had a fight in. I think it was Road was his last fight,
Oh road.
but yeah. Either way, the Giant Killer looking to keep living up to that second nickname of his. He's got multiple nicknames actually, but taking on Sudario, who's a sumo wrestler with one fight, which happened earlier in the summer. I mean, it is totally Minimal Man. It's just completely him, and how perfect for the New Year's show. So
They're going
that's
fucking full circus show.
just that fight, unless we
Oh,
get some more.
that's a throwback Ryzen fight.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But all right, I saw you commented on this piece of news as it was announced, but let's talk about it.
Okay, so Sabina Mazo is going up to bantamweight, and she will be taking on uh, Alexis Davis, who hasn't fought in like 3 years or whatever. It's actually been since 2019, but it feels like it's been forever. She
Yeah, and
hasn't. She's on a losing streak. But she's still ranked. She's like number 13, I think, or
at
something like
flyweight.
that. Yeah, at flyweight. It's such a weird matchup. Um, I don't know why or why Alexis Davis is back and fighting at bantamweight.
Doesn't want to cut that weight anymore.
Oh man, Sabina's gonna put it on her. I hope.
I mean, she should. She probably should. I mean, Davis has not looked too good in this recent since she's returned from having her child. Just has not quite looked the same because once upon a time was a top bantamweight. But yeah, and now another layoff here for I believe it was injury stuff. I know we speculated about it a couple weeks ago. And now she's decided to come back here, back up and weight. Maybe she'll look better once again, not cutting weight. But yeah, it's hard not to favor the younger Mazo in this one. But I mean, of course, Davis always has that BJJ in her back pocket. One of the most underrated, kind of black belts out there. So Sabina needs to keep it off the mat, and she
We
will be
gotta see
just
that.
fine, I would
We gotta see
imagine.
that clinch work from Sabina, man.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
gotta
But
see her throw those fucking kicks. She's always gonna have the length on pretty much whoever she fights. She needs to use that length.
yep, yep, definitely. So I think she should probably definitely be favored in this one. But yeah, very interesting matchmaking, and both of them, Sabina going up, and then Davis returning makes for some extra fun, I suppose. But yeah, we will see that one the end of February.
Sabina's my girl. I hope she wins this fight. Man, I hope she wins this fight so that she can just fucking probably be ranked at this point. She's still young, of course. She has plenty of time. Obviously needs to work on some things. Her last fight, she got touched up a little bit, but then she looked great too. I mean, she had periods of time where she looked great and where she didn't look so great. It was weird. Who did she fight last?
It was Quiche.
Yeah, just in Quiche, where she was able to fucking land head kicks on her.
Yeah, I mean, she was losing that fight, remember, and then came back with the head kick, the classic head kicks that we've seen from her, and
Yeah.
Worked out well.
Mazo versus Davis equals Runaway. In my opinion, Mazo said she was down for the odd 135 fight. Who knows about Davis? I don't like this fight for Sabina at all, though. Alexis has way more ways to win.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
mean,
don't necessarily think that she has more ways to win. I think that Sabina is the better striker, much better striker. Sure, Alexis Davis can take her down, but will she? We don't know. We don't know what to expect from Alexis Davis because she's been out for so long and she hasn't looked that great when she was fighting.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a very interesting matchup, just everything considered. But yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, it's like one of those things where, Davis, historically, her boxing has been pretty solid and everything, but yeah, it's just kind of a matter of knowing where she is. I mean, we could see her show up like Ashley Evans Smith this past week. You never know. Returning to bantamweight. So
your boy Dominic Cruz doesn't believe in ring rust, though.
no, he doesn't. But that's just him. He's the only person who can avoid it. So, one of him and GSP. It doesn't count for the goats.
Yeah, GSP definitely. There's no ring rust with that guy.
Doesn't affect the goats. So, all right, you guys. That was all the news for this week, and we will move on to fights coming up. We have one that we won't really break down, but one to watch out for, of course, on One Big Bang, which
Big Bang,
hilarious gimmick that they're using here.
What a name!
What a name it is. So
I didn't even know that this card was going on, to be honest.
Yeah, they haven't done a very good job with this one.
I know, it's weird. This is the fight with the Indian chick.
Yeah, Ritu.
Yeah, Ritu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So atomweight bout, Ritu Fogat taking on Jomari Torres. Yeah, definitely, it's one to look out for because Ritu. We spoke about her end of October, because she had that win over Nusrepov.
I didn't even know she was fighting again. Did we talk about this when they made the announcement?
No, missed it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this fight was even going on. I didn't know that this whole card was going on, to be honest. I had no clue.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ritu, 3-0, still very early in her career. 2 of those fights came this year. The first one in February. So, fighting around Corona so far and all that. And then, taking on Jomari, who a very interesting career, which predominantly has taken place in one championship. She started out 4-0, 3-0 in one. The last win that she had was against April Osenio, who, another decent name there, with a slam and punches in 40 seconds. But then, since then, Torres has lost 4 in a row, with her last fight being a no contest to Jenny Huang for an accidental low blow in a women's fight, mind you. So that's kind of funny, but is what it is. It hurts down there, no matter what gender you are. But yeah, it's the most surprising thing kind of is that they've kept Torres around this long, considering the current streak she's on. And maybe she can break it here against Ritu, but Ritu is looking to be quite the prospect out of India, as we've touched on in the past after her last fight and everything. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could make a prediction here just because based off of what we know about each of them right now, and it seems like
I
Ritu
mean,
definitely should
yeah,
get this done.
yeah.
If momentum is anything to go by.
Well, she's a good wrestler too. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's going to use that wrestling. She should use that wrestling. Again, she should also be the bigger fighter in this fight too,
Yeah.
because Torres is not. She's actually pretty tiny.
Yep. Yep. Let me see here. Yep. Okay. I don't know those increments. But yeah. So that is the lone fight from one.
Who else is in that card? Is there anybody
Oh,
else?
yeah. Here, let's look at it. So we got these fellas. Kickboxing.
Oh, Gary Tonin.
Oh, yeah. It's Gary. Right. Right.
Shit.
Who really, man, when's this guy going to get a goddamn title shot? I think Gary should be fighting for belts at this point.
Maybe after this fight.
Yeah, possibly.
Gregorian.
Man, it's a pretty small card, though. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5. So,
Wow.
a nice little appetizer for UFC Vegas 16.
Love kickboxing.
Some kickboxing can't go wrong. All right, moving on. One fight at UFC Vegas, of course, and it wasn't even the original fight that was supposed to happen. But hey, we're getting one at all, which is good news. So here we are.
Yeah. So Taylor Santos versus Montana De La Rosa. Montana's gonna try to bounce back. This is a bounce back fight for her.
Yep.
But it's not going to be an easy one.
No. And I mean, we pretty much broke this down. We pretty much did a preview when when Montana stepped in and this fight was announced.
Yeah.
It's like if Montana sticks to what she's good at and what we know she's capable of, unlike her very odd performance in her last fight that lost to Viviani, where the fight IQ just kind of went out the window and the game plan to take the fight down was not the game plan, apparently. And that did not go very well. If she can do what we know she's good at and best at and make it effective, get in Santos's face, she should be able to win this. She should definitely be able to win this fight. But if she fights the way that she did last time out, it's going to go very badly. Right? I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry like that, I would say. So it just got... I have trouble seeing how Montana would not have learned from that performance last time out, and especially where she's stepping in on short notice here, not a full camp, fully preparing for this opponent. In those cases, you're generally sticking to what you're best at and just worrying about yourself. So if you're going to do that, Montana, then you're fucking going to beat this girl up on the ground, right? So, I mean,
yeah,
it's tricky.
You would assume that that's what she would want to do. But again, her last fight wasn't exactly the best Montana De La Rosa.
No, it was not a good display of what we know she's capable of at all.
She's the underdog.
Very bizarre. Montana is?
Yep. She's plus 170 right now.
Yeah, people going off of that last one. I mean, it's not unreasonable, but yeah, I think that would be a good bet though, just because like I don't know how you cannot learn from that, like I was saying, but Santos again, it's something I always like to point out. Despite her very good last win against Molly, that upset over Molly, Santos has the most padded record that I've ever seen. It is the wins prior to the UFC, before Contender Series actually, a padding of epic proportions. If you don't believe me, just go check it out yourself. I mean, I guess I could pull it up right here, but then we'd go down a big old rabbit hole. So I mean, she still I think has a decent amount to prove, but looked very good in that Molly fight. No denying that. Looked like somebody who deserves to be here. So yeah, her skills are evident. But again, in terms of competition, Montana has fought the better competition. And I mean, if you want to do MMA math too, Montana dominated Barella. Santos lost to Barella. That doesn't mean anything, but I had to point it out because of snarkiness. Yeah, man, I'm gonna believe in Montana going back to what we know she's capable of and what she's best at. I think she will. I believe in her learning from the last performance, and that's kind of maybe why she decided to jump in and take this spot because she wants to get that bad taste out of her mouth. So yeah, I think we'll see Montana by I'm gonna say round 2 submission. I think she will do what we know she can do.
I mean, that's probably like the logical way of seeing this fight, but I don't know. I don't know if this is like I don't know if she's gone the way of Claudia Gadelha where she doesn't want to go to the ground or whatever for whatever reasons. She feels more comfortable on the feet. She thinks that going for the knockout is going to get her the highlight reel, get her the money, get her the fame, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird what goes through fighters' minds as they're fighting, and like going into camp and stuff like that. She was just out of her element, out of her. It seemed like a breakdown of her camp. You know, like that's not what they trained for in her last fight. But again, like you said, she should win this fight.
Yeah, I think on paper, and just have the performances that we've seen from both of them. Of course, more often than not from Montana, the skills that she's displayed should be able to X out what we've seen from Santos as well. But stamina does present a very real possibility as well. If Santos can defend takedowns, assuming that they happen.
Yeah. He said, fingers crossed for an all-out disassembly. I have no ill will whatsoever for Montana De La Rosa, but I want this to be Santos' coming out party. She should have had that coming out party a long time ago, I feel, though.
I mean, people would have assumed so with that record, but like I said, it's not as good if you dive into it. And I mean, for me, the last fight was her coming out party. At least, maybe not completely, but definitely, I think didn't expect that.
Yeah, I think it got her seen.
Yeah.
I think this one would get her seen. Montana De La Rosa's.
Well, this fight's actually right before co-main event, I believe.
Yeah. This is on the main card for sure.
Yeah.
On a card that's not that great.
No, we're kind of just waiting to get to these final cards of the year. UFC, what? 250.
The Joker and Vittori is a good fight, though.
Yeah, that is a good one. Thankfully, still getting Hermanson versus somebody. Poor guy's gone through multiple opponents.
Shit's wild what's happened in the past couple weeks to fight.
Very much so.
I mean, like Stamina said, it's the Rona effect at this point. I think we're just seeing matchups that we typically wouldn't see, which is perfectly fine. I mean, we've been talking about this since fucking April or whatever.
Since it started.
Yeah. I mean, it's been almost a whole year now. It's pretty crazy thinking about like how long this has gone on and yeah. It's wild.
So
wild.
What is your official prediction for this one?
I guess I'll go Montana De La Rosa just because we know what she can do and what she's capable of. Will we see it? I don't know. It's weird, man. Like I said, I don't know if she just wants to stand and bang, bro. I
It's weird though, because like you look at her win, her last win, the Barella one before the Araujo loss, that was vintage Montana, dude. Beat her up on the ground, like So it's just like this most recent fight, something changed, and hopefully she can change it back
Yeah, yeah. Again, like
for her sake.
I don't know what we don't know what happens in the fighter's mind. You know why they do it unless if they tell us. And Montana doesn't talk very much. You don't hear from her at all, really, um, other than post fight. Post fight after she wins. I think after her last loss, we didn't really hear from her. Um, will she come back? Will she be her former self that we know she can put on a show, on the ground, put a beating on Santos on the ground? There's a bunch of what ifs in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, so what's your pick?
Oh, I'm going De La Rosa. I'm going De La Rosa, but I think that it's a decision.
Okay, okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting.
I could see Santos winning by decision as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep.
I would love to see Montana De La Rosa put that ground and pound on though.
Yeah. When she's on, it's always fun to watch. And same for Santos, though. I mean,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so yeah, that is the lone UFC fight. So I mean, two this week.
Pretty crazy. Not a whole lot to talk about this week.
No, or last week.
Not a whole lot of news. There's not a whole lot of fights. I think next week we have more fights to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, I think we should have some coming up here, and then we're gonna have like a gap, at least for the UFC, until like I think that Betch card. I think we'll have a gap for UFC, but then of course the Ryzen New Year's Eve show, and
When is the Cesara Panny fight? That's coming up too, isn't it?
I think that's a late January one. I think, yeah, I think so.
No,
Stamina.
it's December 19th.
Oh, okay. I guess yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, because I remember we were like, oh, hell yeah, it's on that awesome card. So,
That's on the Chimaev Edwards card, which is now Stephen Thompson and Jeff Neal.
still a good fight.
Oh yeah, that's a fun fight for sure.
Stamina here with a comment on the last fight again. MDLR has the experience, mental fortitude, tenacity, resolve, all TBC. She's better in just one area, meaning she needs to clear multiple risky fight ranges to get there. Taylor has more ways to win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a fair way to look at it. Especially especially after Montana's most recent performance. So, yeah,
Yeah, was not a good performance at all.
no.
Kind of a bummer, let down.
And the commentary was absolutely awful in that fight. If you remember, they thought she was doing pretty decent.
Who was on commentary?
I feel like Bisping and it might have just been Bisping and Anik, maybe Fitzgerald. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Bisping was on that one though, and I was like, what are we talking about here, Michael?
Bisping's a little off sometimes.
Yeah, he's pretty up in the. He's always fun to listen to, but yeah, in terms of accuracy, he's pretty 50-50. So
I think the Felder's one of the better ones.
yeah,
Out of all of the fighters that are on commentary and stuff, I think Felder's, he mixes it up with the funny. He's actually a funny ass dude. Like he's not all serious. Like Dom Cruz is very serious. He's
he
not
jokes
funny.
around with Joe sometimes.
He's not funny at all. He's not funny. He's boring and he sucks.
You're dissing my boy.
But I mean, Bisping is like hit and miss. It's weird with that guy.
Yeah.
Really weird with him. But he's really good on Contender Series. He's really good on Contender Series. Like I feel like he does more homework for Contender Series than he does for actual, UFC cards.
Maybe he feels like he needs to know more about that, which totally reasonable. But oh yeah, Stamina is pointing out some good ones, of course. Yeah, I didn't even think about them. Torres Hill rematch.
Yeah.
Robertson and Lee. and Jandaroba versus Dern. Perfect segue into our closeout here, Stamina. Follow us, like, share, and subscribe, you guys. But yes, what I got coming up next week. Spoke to Verna before this fight. Great getting to talk to her. And shout out to Alexander who follows along with our show for doing translation again on that one. Yeah, it was very exciting. Good talk with Verna. Cannot wait for the fight. That we'll looking to drop that on Monday, so you guys can stay tuned for that. And then also Broadened Horizon episode 5 will be coming this week as well. Got some winners from Ryzen 25 on it, and winners from Ryzen 25 and competitors on Ryzen 26. It's a good lineup, you guys. So stay tuned for that one as well. And I also spoke to Kanako again after her win over Randa, making the UFC debut. So check that out as well. My MMA news, all this stuff is there, and on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DrakeRiggs. And that could. There he is. He's been watching along. What's up, buddy? Alexander in the chat. Yeah, plenty of other stuff also that I'm working on. I'm really fucking have swamped myself with the schedule, but all good, exciting stuff for the end of the year, you guys. This is always a busy, fun time. Plenty going on.
For Ryzen, especially.
Ryzen in particular got some very exciting news coming in terms of maybe fighters going places, you guys. So look out for that next week as well.
So hold up. You sent out a tweet or whatever earlier, and I had commented about it.
Mm-hmm.
What the Floyd Mayweather thing?
Yeah.
What's that shit about? I didn't hear about that at all. I mean, I'm not really. I'm off social media now. I mean, I'm honestly, I make I say my shit and I dip. I don't
hang around.
No, I don't. I mentally I can't do it anymore. So yeah, I mean, I commented on your tweet and I was like, what the fuck is this even about?
Yeah, I mean, so there's gonna be an event in February, it sounds like it'll be a one-time thing. It's called Mega 2021,
but they're saying a new promotion.
It's
Sakuraba said a new promotion, right?
The details are so limited right now, right? There's really not a lot to go by besides the fact that there will be a combat sports event. Don't know if it'll be a mix of things: kickboxing, boxing, MMA.
Well, you would think if Floyd Mayweather's involved, then there's some boxing in there.
You would think there will be some boxing, of course. That's the most concrete thing right now, I think, is that Floyd potentially boxing somebody, and I would assume another exhibition. So that seems like the biggest detail we have right now. And, of course.
But then Tension is fighting as well.
Oh, yes, that sounds like that will also happen. So, I guess that would be kickboxing and boxing. It'll probably be all three of those then, throw MMA in as well. But yeah, not a lot of detail.
What is it? Is it like co-promoted with Ryzen? Because
Saki Kabara. I don't know if they'll do like straight up co-promotion, but yeah, they're talking to each other. Let's put it that way. So without giving too many secrets away, but there's just really not a lot that we know about the specifics of that yet. But it will surely be fucking interesting because of Floyd's involvement, and who knows if Anderson Silva will make it over there too. We will see, but it's called Mega for a reason. So, yeah. What about you, Steve? What do you got going on? Did you see Kaneho he's getting a whole bunch of more ink, dude. Jesus. Adding on to the collection.
I love it.
Girl is inked up.
Pretty crazy that she's getting inked up, and
you do like a 2-hour episode with her.
Dude. I want to do that. I want to get that interview so bad. She's adamant, man. She wants to do it in English.
So funny.
But it's weird though. Like I've seen it obviously, and I'm like, dude, aren't you supposed to be training for a fight? It's got to be coming up. I mean, they're gonna eventually make it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought they said they were straight up just gonna push it to the next one. So yeah, I would assume next month, but Yeah, it looks like she went back down to Mexico and is, just hanging out.
Yep.
So I mean, why not? Holiday season and all. I'm sure she'll figure it out. but
Yeah.
yeah, anything in the works, my man? Besides
No,
that,
man. Nope. Nothing at all. I'm boring. I'm not putting work in.
hey, gotta do what you gotta do, and that means more attention for me, you guys, so you can check out all my stuff because there's
For
plenty
sure.
coming.
For sure. Give Drake
Plenty.
all the attention until I come back.
Exactly. Back again. Which we will be next week, you guys. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in. Follow us at Drake Riggs _ at Steve K _ MA at The Scrap News. Subscribe, all that. If I would hope you're already doing that if you're here. But if you're not, it's your first time, give us some love if you enjoy the show. So, all right. You can play us out, Steve.
All right. Thank you to who? Just Stamina, I guess.
Stamina. Alexandra was
And
watching.
Alexander at the end. Yeah. But yeah, Stamina, the dude who fucking shows up every week. Much love to
Loyalty.
Stamina. You're a loyal ass bitch, Stamina. Love it.
All right.
Until
Peace.
next week, folks.